Okay, cool. So the bots are working away. Yeah, I'd just like to take a few minutes to welcome Adrien to the call today. He's a close friend of mine. He runs the and founded the Web3 family in Barcelona, which is our premier grassroots organization to discuss blockchain and cryptocurrency. And he also is a community builder for Ledger. So welcome, Adrien, to the secret agency.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the kind words and the nice introduction, Skrilla.
Yeah, so I started going to Adrian's events like I think maybe 6 or a little bit longer months ago, and he's been developing the Web3 family from kind of I think we first met after an AVAX conference, right? And you were just starting it up again from another kind of a kind of dry period, shall we say? And since then, you've developed it into a really strong community of builders in the city, and I've made so many connections just through coming to your events. So yeah, thank you first of all for hosting them. We've got one tonight. After this, we're going to do a Christmas dinner. But I wanted to dig into what got you started in Web3 in the first place before all the event stuff.
Actually, it was by chance. Like a friend owed me money, and for some reason he wanted to pay me in crypto, and he wanted me to get started in crypto, and he sent me crypto, and then long story short, I was a dev back then, and had a very comfortable situation. Actually, I was a contractor working part-time for a company in Switzerland. So actually, I was a bit getting bored, and I was looking at like doing a career change. And when crypto came around, actually, I went down the rabbit hole because there was like a combinations of things that made that I had the time available to really go down the rabbit hole intensely. And yeah, between the day this friend paid me back in crypto and the day I decided to go full time in crypto, it was like maybe 6 months time, maybe less, like 5 or 6 months. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. It was during the end of 2017. So yeah, in August, I think I got my first crypto, my first ETH, and by December I was leaving my job, and January I was crying because the market was collapsing. So yeah, that was it. Like yeah, so I come from like more investor perspective, I guess, small investor, and I was writing a lot of articles back then, and that's how I got started with that.
I think we've all been there. I think we've all been there. So how did Web3 family develop? And can you talk us through the ethos behind it?
So it developed. So this is, I don't know, the third or the fourth organization, like community that I put together, like in-person community that I put together. And it happened because the previous community that I put together didn't work out. And then the one before that sort of died down during the during the bull market, because everybody was we were doing community events during the bear market, and it was tough, but because Barcelona was really like small back then regarding the crypto community. But when the bull market kicked in, like first there was, before that there was the pandemic, and then bull market kicked in, and then it was me and a couple of other friends, and everybody was like busy doing other things, so we kind of abandoned it. And then when I came back to revive it, I realized, okay, these friends working on other project, they won't want to put the time to carry on, and I don't really feel like asking them to leave. It's not like it was my place to tell them to leave. They had done their part. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna start something new. And before that, so we're going backward. Before that, I started originally helping a friend who was running some Ethereum developer events, and then I was running DAO focused meetups on my own because this guy basically wanted to do his own thing. So you can think of like communities like little startups. You have somebody, usually one or two, maybe three people maximum, really leading the community, and then they have their vision, and then you come in with your good intentions, but they've put a lot of work in, and even if you want to help and then you want to have a say, often it's difficult because they have their vision, they have their sort of agenda set, and so all you can do at this point, if you're not happy with their vision, is to start your own community. So that's what I did with like small events, and things escalated. Yeah, but it's all just side projects originally, and then so it's been 4 years since my first meetup or event, and since then I've run over 50 events, and now I end up doing this for a living, for Ledger. So it's been a very cool journey. And I only realized, funny enough, recently that I was a very strong community builder. So it's
You definitely are a very strong community builder, because the community you've built here is phenomenal, and not just at the full-time kind of blockchain native, crypto native level. You're also teaching complete beginners to the space, aren't you, via Ledger? Why don't you tell us how you got into that and how that kind of developed into your job now?
Yeah, so the story is that like during the bull market, everybody was doing very well, getting very rich for no valuable reason a lot of the time. And at some point, there was like, this wave of airdrops coming in for different reasons. And at some point, I got an airdrop from, I forgot this project. It was for everyone who was trading on OpenSea. Whoever was,
Yeah.
there was this, I forgot how it's called, Open DAO or whatever the name is, disappeared now, nobody cares. But anyway, they did an airdrop, and I received, I don't know how much it was, maybe like $2,000 or $3,000 of that, and it was during Christmas. And I thought, you know what, this airdrop, I will forward it to my friends in a form of hardware wallets. So I always wanted to teach my friends, because I've got this sort of like double life with crypto life and normal life with my friends who are not in crypto and who don't understand what the hell I'm doing in crypto. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna kill many birds with one stone. I'm gonna buy my friends a nice present, and I'm gonna onboard them to crypto. So finally, they will maybe understand what I'm up to, and who knows, maybe it'll be very useful for their life. So that's what I did, and then I ended up having to put some workshops together, because to my surprise, there was no workshop. I couldn't find good workshops available online to teach people. So all I could find was like, YouTube videos or courses and things like that. But I don't want to send a YouTube video to my friends. I want to be teaching them myself, because I will be the person they teach to. Long story short, I was teaching to like maybe 25 people, 25 friends, and then one day I met the guys from from Ledger, and they were like, wow, it's pretty cool what you're doing, we should stay in touch. And yeah, we stayed in touch, and then they saw my work with Web3 family as well, my previous work with the other communities, and my previous work in crypto, as when I was an analyst, when I was a marketer, and so on, and I ended up working with them.
I think it just goes to show how much opportunity there is in this space for people that do put themselves forward and do make the effort to educate, a room full of people from the ground up on how to be safe in this space, like not your keys, not your crypto, how to do their first DeFi swap. So they're not doing KYC and going through dodgy exchanges and all that kind of stuff. So you basically started doing that for your friends, and now it's your full-time job. And we've got a series of workshops which I've yet to do with you, but we did the careers one actually together, because you invited me to Web3 Family Conference a couple of weeks ago. And just off the back of that, I've got an invitation to go to Lisbon University and do the same how to start a Web3 career workshop over there. So just goes to show the level, the amount of opportunities there. If you put yourself out there and start to organize events and start to build a community, you will get people coming up to you, and you will get opportunities to speak at universities and all sorts of things. So just off the back of that, and I know you've organized a lot of events in your time, I wanted to talk about the kind of varieties of different events. And you released an article this week on your Substack, which is actually pasted up in the meetings chat channel, the text channel above this room. So could you talk us through the different categories of events and how each one helps to build the community in a different way?
Yeah. Okay, let's jump to the article. So I would say that something really important is, I guess for most people who they're listening also because they maybe want to get started running events, is how difficult each type of event gets. So in this article, there's like the social events and the events with activities, and then larger events. Obviously, the larger events are the most difficult ones, so we can leave that aside. And then the events with activities are like all the events like with like talks or debates, workshops, pitch session. All this also is quite difficult. So all the easiest events are like the social events. So these are kind of like the ones you want to do when you get started or when you don't have time. Like if you just like you've got you don't know what to do, like you want to get people in your city to meet, and you want to meet them because you want to finally have friends in real life who who are also in the same field. Like organizing a social event is the best thing you can do. So that's what I do. Like if I start a community, I just do social events, like 2 or 3, one after the other, like just 2-3 weeks apart, and that grows like a first like layer of community, and a bit of visibility, and so that's also, those events are cool to do, like to break the ice, even if your community is a bit more mature. Like maybe people came and they spoke about like more serious stuff and so on. You might want to also like add a bit of like more social aspects, right? And also like maybe you're too busy with your job, you don't have time to put together like an event with like a speaker and so on. So you just throw this against the wall. You just like, all right, like let's put this up on Meetup or Eventbrite, whatever, in 2 weeks or 10 days, whatever. We'll meet for dinner or for beers, and that's it. It doesn't take much time, but the value add actually is quite high. I think if you don't just do that, that's always kind of what I think is good to vary, the events types. So sometime a social event, sometime activities, and then everybody's happy, and you got um, a bit of different environments. Yeah. So that's just the beginning of an article series as well, actually, um, where I'll go deeper into other aspects. But yeah, like beer meetups, coffee meetups, meet in the park, brunch, dinners, pub crawls, night clubbing, beach volley, whatever activity, like social event you do. I think it's always good to get people to bond and get to know each other a bit more, like closely. And then the activities, like the expert talks, is kind of like, I think, the most popular type of meetup. Um, so it's a good one in the sense that if you organize a talk, if you do it well, if you organize it well, you do attract a lot of people, a lot of good people, right? So actually, the next article I created is already posted. You can see at the bottom of that article, I can put it in the chat, is about that because it's the most popular type of meetup. The talks, I just posted it in the meetings chat. And that one, like, is cool because you just need one good speaker. You don't need like 10 people. You don't need, the complication of a workshop where you need maybe people to bring a laptop or whatever. You just need one strong speaker, somebody who's got good reputation or who's got a strong reach on social media, um, a good venue, and that's it. It's done. Like the rest follows, like is more easy. So yeah, the talks I think are good, and the talks can be easily followed by a debate. You already have like a 20-minute talk by somebody who's really good, who sets the scene for then like a very good debate happening afterwards. So like people love this. So we do now, actually we did that during the last conference, the first conference actually, the last and first conference.
It was a great day. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that actually. The way you organized the speakers and what happened after the speaker was done. So you after every speaker, there's this amazing experience where everybody makes a big circle with all the chairs and the whole audience is involved, and they've got a microphone inside a bouncy ball that gets chucked around, and everybody can pitch in on the discussion and talk about the ideas that were raised. So how did you did you see that idea somewhere else? I've not seen it in any other conference or event that I've been to anywhere else. Was it something that you came up with, or did you
Uh,
learn it
yeah,
from another
yeah, I came
experience?
up, yeah, I came up with that because I wanted to do fish bowls, and then people wouldn't go on stage, even though they, in my opinion, they had very good things to say. They would get shy. So sometimes
Yeah,
I pull them out. I'd be like, "Hey, you come on stage, because I know you're really good about this topic. You have a lot of things to share." And then the person would sometimes even would come, and sometimes the person would refuse, and I'd be like, "What the hell? Like, I'm doing this fishbowl for people to participate, not to, I want to actually avoid to have like the standard panel where you just got like three blokes, like, who just tell everybody what they think and so on. I wanted people to engage, everyone to engage. And then one day we did this circle, and then I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. That worked really well. This was during I think that we had a meetup on the Terra Luna collapse.
I remember it well. Yeah, that was one of
Yeah.
my first ones that I went to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, I think, the first time we did the circle, and and this was an amazing meetup, and everybody came out like, wow, this was great. Even me, I thought it would be a nice meetup, but I didn't think it would be that good. I mean, as good as it turned out to be. Um, and then I was like, okay, well, there's maybe something to do next time the same way, and so on. And then we did it sometime again after. I don't know. I didn't click right away that it was the thing to do, you know. And then when I did it again, like lately in the past few months, I realized, wow, this is amazing. The dynamic it creates every time is really strong. So we did at every single talk during the conference. This was nice.
It really is. It really is a brilliant vibe. Just from my perspective as someone who's had to open the first conference that you ever did, it really helped with my confidence that the audience were already prepared to speak and be interactive. They were speaking to me, they're asking questions throughout the talk, and then we all just got round in a big circle afterwards. And actually, there was people there like, hey, I'm a dev, I've got these skill sets, this is my story, I need a designer to help build this project. Oh, I'm a designer, I can help you do that if we can find a marketer. And
Yeah,
you could see like teams being formed inside the circle throughout the whole day.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing that I think the value also of the circle is just so many. I think it's not only people are sharing more willingly, you know, because you know they're not on the stage. They just feel like everybody's equal. The speaker also is equal because he's part of the circle, but it's kind of mixed. So the Q&A can keep going, but at the same time of the Q&A, because the speaker get grilled still, people also interact with one another. So you've got like kind of a mix between the Q&A and public debate, and at the same time a meet and greet, because when people speak, they often say, hey, by the way, I'm blah 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 and I do this, you know, like you just said. And then they'll say, oh, by the way, I'm looking for a marketer or dev or what, co-founder, whatever. So you got like this sort of like stew of like discussion topics going on, and that's why people, I think, love it so much, you know.
Yeah, I can tell you my network has expanded so much since I started coming to your events in the city. I wasn't even aware that there was much of a Web3 community here. I think I said this to you the first time we met, and
Yeah.
now I pretty much have meetings with people from Web3 Farm every day. So yeah, it's fantastic that you put together. What about outside of the in real life events? You have a Telegram group chat. There's several splinter groups as well. Can you talk to us about how you organize the online aspect and what tools
Yeah.
you use?
Oh yeah, we've got like this Telegram group chat. Um, we've got presence also on LinkedIn, because now on LinkedIn it's actually quite a lot of people. It's a new thing, right? LinkedIn just a year ago was not a year, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. This LinkedIn thing in crypto is totally new. Uh, but uh, but yes, we've got good traction there for attracting people now. And we've got meetup.com. So meetup is kind of like the OpenSea of event platforms. It kind of sucks in many ways, but in some ways it does the job so well that for me it's an amazing tool. It's like I know there is attraction. I know there my events, my community members get notified properly, so they're less likely to miss an event announcement. I know I can, you know, put some pictures up. People can comment. People can leave reviews. So it does the job, you know. So it does the job pretty well. So it's a great tool for having a loyal community, you know, in the sense that people can easily stay in touch without feeling spammed. You know, Telegram has this very strong, you know, like spam feeling, and it requires me to also do a lot of moderation, and it's not really convenient. And then what else do we have? I think we have Instagram as well. For the idea for Instagram, mostly is for the artistic aspect, so that if we do events more on the NFT side of things, we'll have a presence there.
Nice. So is it all a one-man operation at the moment? And I think after this we'll open the floor for an AMA session with the agents. But what are your plans for the future? Any plans to expand the team or?
Yeah, it's a one-man team for now. It's I've teamed up with many people, and at the end of the day, I realized that I ended up a lot of the time leading and doing pretty much everything. Or there was often like discrepancies, like in the sense of like somebody in the team who is not able to help anymore, and so on, different visions and so on. And in the end, after like 4 or 5 communities, I realized like, okay, I'd rather just be the one man team. It's very efficient. Also for all the conversations I have, if I meet somebody like that has a very valuable project, who is keen to do something together, we can have a half an hour conversation and decide on the spot what date we want to do an event, what format, all the details. It can go really fast. That's also why the community grew so fast, is because I can do events. I can decide to do events very fast. So to give you an example, like some events, I pulled them off, like just deciding 1 week before, like, oh, I'm going to do an event, and there'd still be a good turn up. And the conference, I decided only 5 weeks before that I will do a conference. So this, if you have several people, it's impossible to do. Like you can do it maybe once or twice, but you cannot do it constantly. If you're alone, you can do it constantly. That's the major difference.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for answering all my questions. I feel like there's some stuff in there that I didn't know, even though we've met so many times now at these things. I can't wait to see you after this. Actually, I'm going to buy you a drink tonight at the. We're actually doing a social event tonight, so it's Christmas dinner for the Web3 fam at a street food restaurant. So Adrien has organised a deal for us as well. We all get some kind of discount. Agents, feel free to just jump in and ask any questions.
Adrian, I'm curious, how did you, I guess two different fronts. One was like, I'm really intrigued by the starting like a local community, and like what were your first ways of getting people to attend your first event? So like, for example, where I am, there's like no crypto groups, resources, people. I'd be possibly the first in the whole state, considering where I'm at. So, how do you get a couple to some of those maybe social events you were talking about? And then also curious on the ledger side of things, how did you work that angle to secure a career down that path?
Okay, so for starting your meetup, like it depends on the size of. But I would say that even if you think there's nobody in your state, I'm pretty sure there are people, because that's how I felt here in Barcelona. Like, and then like now I realize like there's like actually a ton of people I never reached out to, and even now, the more I go down that rabbit hole of outreaching and so on, the more I realize like, okay, there's like I thought there was maybe a maximum 1,000 people professional in Barcelona, but there are probably a lot more, actually, probably thousands. Just that I didn't find how to contact them. There's different ways to contact them, but like basically you have to think in terms of channels. Like if you reach out to them on typically online, right? That's your easiest bet. Um, and so you have to think like, okay, on Telegram, there's got to be some people in your region who are in some common Telegram groups. So simply like there, like you have to find the small, I mean the group chats that are the most local to your area. So maybe there's a group chat relating to your state. If there isn't, maybe to the region, so a bunch of states, and otherwise like to the whole country. And then there you can just you can just shoot in the dark directly, say, hey, is there anybody from XYZ? Or you can just post your event right there. And then I would say it's a lot of the time it's kind of useless to post your community, to say, hey, I have a community in this city, do you want to join it? Like, people won't care. But if you say, you need a clear actionable, like, hey, I run an event on that day, like in 1 week, then people will join your community, whether it's like, I mean, whether it's like on in your group chat or wherever you're first redirecting them to. So events, like, so from all I see in this time is each event brings new community members, and it's so obvious. Like, as soon as I stop because I go on holiday or whatever, I don't and if there's no event posted, I don't get like a single new community member. You know, even if like now we have like 800 or 900 people in just like 8 months. If tomorrow I don't post any event, I won't grow, you know. Whereas if I post like a couple events or a couple of events for 1 month, I will have a 10% growth in 1 month, you know, or more maybe. So it's really the events that drives the growth of the community. And another thing, as I was saying before, like you have the different channels, so you can go to LinkedIn, say on LinkedIn you can search people in your area, you know, so it's pretty good for that. And then you can just send them like connection requests, say, hey dude, like I see you work in Web3 and I do, and you live in the same town, I'd love to meet for a beer, you know, like probably the guy you're writing to will be feeling the same. And then you can do it with many people. And then yeah, then the thing you can do is look for similar events in your town. That's also a very effective one. So let's say if tomorrow you want to start your secret agent community or Web3 community, I guess you could just look for people who are into tech and finance and maybe digital art, you know, like, so you're going to go on the event platforms and look for people who signed up to this type of events, and you message them, you know, like, so some of the platform let you see the guest list, like Meetup or LinkedIn also has events, or I don't know, like, no, Eventbrite doesn't let you see, but so that these are like good ways. You just message people who are attending those events, or if the events are posted on Twitter, you can also go like find who commented, who liked, who left whatever positive thing, and probably if they did that, it's because they live in that town. So you can look for also people who have the name of your town or your state on Twitter, things like that. So you just have to go on every social media channel and find of like strategies, you know, like sometimes it's just like small tricks that makes the difference. Yeah, so that's how it works well. You can also attend events, like local events. So like if you see, there's a developer event, developer meetup in your town, well, you could just go, or a meetup about like, you know, people talking about like digital art, where you should go, you know, just go. And most likely like a good chunk of the people who go to a digital art event will be interested in talking about Web3 and so on. So yeah, there's like many ways. I'll write a piece about that as well. But yeah, it's an endless rabbit hole. Like, there's actually people you can reach out to.
So a couple of the community members from our Russian community are asking about incentives for attracting people to join the community. So why don't you tell them about the raffles?
Oh yeah. So for every event I do, I run a raffle. So um, I how I started was with merch that I was getting that I had from conferences or that I was getting. I don't remember now exactly how but anyway, it was so I would just run a raffle and I would bring like stuff that I was given for free anyway. So now every funny enough, every time now that I go to a conference, I bring back like at least like 20 t-shirts and hats and other type of swag. So like if you go, and then I can give that to people. Then also I start to build relationships when I go to conferences or talk to other people. I say, hey, look, I've got my community in Barcelona. We just ran out of swag. Can you send us some more swag? That's kind of the next level, and that's what happened with Ledger. So they knew I was running events. This was before I was working for Ledger, and they started to send me some ledgers. They were like, "Hey, cool! Like we like what you're doing. Here you go, some ledgers." And so then I would just post every time. Like I would give away ledgers. I would take a picture. If the people, I asked them, "Hey, is that cool if I post it on social media?" If they say, "Hey, I'd rather not," I'd be like, "Hey, I will, I can anonymize you, so I'll just put like a smiley or something funny on your face so you cannot be recognized." And then they usually say, "Yeah, sure, no worries then." And then the thing is that it it works well because then you can show what's going on, on social media. You can say, hey, John just won a ledger, and his friend Lucy, she won like also a ledger, and the event was awesome. You can share more pictures of the event, and at the same time, you can then go back to Ledger or whoever gave you the swag that you gave away, and like the privacy hats, like Vadim is talking about, like, and you can say like, hey, look, we like these people are so happy, and then whoever gave you the swag is really happy. They're like, oh, cool, this guy is actually giving away the stuff that I'm giving him. He's not just, it's not just stories, it's actually pictures that I can see maybe videos of it or whatever, so that's the thing that people don't realize is like brands give away a lot of stuff, but they don't actually get much return. So if you're the guy who tells them like, hey, look, here's a post on Twitter or on any other social media where you can see that I gave the swag and the people are super happy, then that makes them smile, and that makes them feel that they can trust you as well, because sometimes people get swag and don't give it away or don't never run an event. A lot of people promise a lot of things and don't actually execute on those promises. So yeah, that's really fun as well. Like running the rap time is a really good laugh. Everybody's is having a good time. So
Awesome, so awesome. Have we got any more questions for Adrien? Come on, Pope, I know you've got something brewing. So Pope Black runs all of our events and coordination in Africa, and he's the leader of the Secret Africa initiatives. He runs a lot of spaces throughout the week, online events, games night, virtual, and he's planning some meetups of his own. So Pope, make sure you check out Adrien's Substack. I've posted it in the meetings chat channel above. Just subscribe there. He's going to be posting a series of articles on how to organize kick-ass community events from the ground up, really, from small social events to bringing in expert speakers all the way up to organizing things like the Web3 Family Conference, which was the first one that's ever been done, but was an absolute success. So yeah, just keep your eyes on that. We'll probably bring Adrien back because I think everyone here has had a very informative experience. And again, I think we've run a little bit over, but I'd just like to thank you, mate, for coming along and training everyone. I know it was very last minute, but yeah, just thanks from all of us, and I think the agents have loved having you here today.
Thank you, man. My pleasure.
I've given you your stripes as a secret agent, so you've got your first rank, and
Whoa.
you're in the events working group. Feel free to just ping me if you want added to any more or whatever you want. We'll make sure that you get added. So yeah, and an absolute pleasure having you on, and I'll see you later on for Christmas dinner.
Yay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the questions, and don't hesitate to ping me on Twitter. If you have any questions, I can put it in the chat as well.
Nice. Well, yeah, I hope we all loved having a special guest on. I think it's the second special guest we've had on this call. It's always a brilliant experience. We'll try and get more guests in to kind of coach you agents on how to run events, how to improve your conversational skills, how to spot scammers as well. It's one that we're planning, and how to run the workshop series that we've built out as well. So yeah, if anyone has any updates for the call, we usually do updates, but as it's before Christmas, I just wanted to kind of have a little special event for you. But if anyone has anything to add, then feel free to speak now. If not, we will close off the call, and I'm going to stop the bots as well.